After the points
Hello and
finish
welcome
last
to a
race,
very
let's
different
aim to
Grand
keep
Prix
the
today.
momentum
As you can
going.
see, we're at Monaco and we are in full wet, well, intermediate conditions. But we are starting the video straight away at the race start. Unfortunately, I lost the footage for practice and qualifying, so we won't have that today. I did qualify 18th. It wasn't a great qualifying session in the wet. It's been a full wet weekend. But as you can see by the strategy, we will be going on to mediums around halfway. But let's head into the race. We're going into turn 1 at Sandoval. We're going to try and go around the outside of Michael Schumacher. Mick Schumacher, sorry. Definitely not his dad. We don't make the move stick as we try to go around the outside of the young German again. We now go for a big dive bomb down the inside a few turns later, and we managed to get a good few positions, and we tuck in P14. Now unfortunately Monaco in the wet wasn't the most interesting race. Now we are 14th now, and Tsunoda does just drive off. It's going to be a very much a fight for 14th for me in this race. Hopefully we get a few safety cars and that will spice it up a little bit, but the AI is very strong around here, especially in the wet. Let's have a look at another version of the race start. Hamilton starts on pole. Lando and Ricciardo start to P2 and 3. I think the Ferrari of Valtteri Bottas starts P4. As we try to go around the outside of Schumacher, as we said, at Saint-Devote. I was really upset that it was a wet race at Monaco, because I do like driving the Monaco race. It's just annoying when it's in the wet, because I'm not that strong in the wet, as you can probably imagine. It's a lot harder. As we have a look at that replay going up the inside of what was that, the Alfa Romeo, the Williams, and the Alpine of Ocon. You also might have noticed there that Lando Norris has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. He has taken the lead over Lewis Hamilton, and we'll see who wins the race at the end of it. As we move on to lap 2. We're already a second behind Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to try and stay with him as much as we can. But obviously there's no DRS along the straight, and the AI is very strong at the aero tracks, especially Monaco. I'm going to try and keep up with him as we can. Giovinazzi's currently P12, which hopefully he can push on and get some points for the team. So we are just so much under and oversteer. Just really struggling to keep control of the car. I don't know if it's tyre temps or if it's simply just the wrong setup potentially. But it's very difficult to control this car today. I don't know if you noticed at the very start of the race, I did put traction onto full. I have since changed that back to medium, but in qualifying I was really struggling on medium in the wet, so I thought I'd try it on full for a little bit, but I just lacked so much pace. We're on lap 6 now, and Yuki Tsunoda's 5 seconds up the road as we hit the inside bollard, and we managed to make a little bit of a roadblock. You've got Ocon, Lundgaard, I'm not sure who else is behind there, Russell, Schumacher and Mazepin trying to get past. Fortunately we don't take any damage. Is there a safety car going to come out? Doesn't look like it. Tsunoda is now 18 seconds up the road. Unfortunately we wasn't going to catch him anyway, but he's now even further up the road, and we are just going to fight Ocon and Lundgaard. Lundgaard has gone into the pit. Don't know if that was damage from my spin and he might have gone into the back of Ocon. Not 100% sure, but we're on lap 8. We're now 22 seconds behind Tsunoda. Lando Norris is currently P1, Hamilton P2, it looks like Bottas P3, Ricciardo P4, Verstappen P5, it could be Perez, and then Matsushita in P6 as Ocon tries to make a move down the inside of us. We managed to hold him off at the hairpin, and we will stay ahead of the Frenchman. We get a warning there for a collision. I don't actually think we touched.
You've got damage.
Lap 16 now, and Tsunoda's almost lapped us. As you can see on the mini-map, Lando has almost lapped Alfa Romeo. There are cars that have already been lapped, but we are 40 seconds behind Tsunoda. So
confirmed.
He's only about 20, 30 seconds from lapping us.
Look like the best tyre for now.
We're not. We are losing time quite rapidly, quite quickly. as we're going up the hill, and we get hit by Ocon on the inside. It looks like I've turned into him, but he tries to go for a move that isn't there. Ocon is out of the race. Latifi is out of the race. He goes for a move that's not there. It hits my back wheel, and as he hits my left rear, it makes me move to the left, and it makes him smash into the wall. We've now got a safety car, so I'll speed things up for the safety car. It's going to be a few laps. I'm not going to pit. I'm going to try and stay on these wet tyres for the mediums. It's all about track position at Monaco, so if I stay on these mediums, on these wets, long enough for it to be dry, we might be able to pull off some sort of a strategy change, like advancement, and we might be able to get into the points if we catch up with the safety car. It's going to be very difficult. Obviously, we're 47 seconds behind the safety car, and here we are. We're going into the pit lane, and I think the safety car is going to come in this lap, so we're going to get a free pit start, but it's going to be literally at the wrong time. If the safety car stayed out for one more lap, we would have been able to catch up. We're also getting a wing change, which I wasn't aware about. So fortunately, we are stopping under safety car conditions. We're the first car to blink and go onto the mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of grip we've got. It is still raining slightly, but I don't know if that's visually. But we're going to try our best to try and not bin it into a wall and, well, basically get through to the dry conditions on these set of mediums. We've got 19 laps to go, which the medium tyres will definitely do that as long as they don't overheat too much. As we almost lose it there. It is very difficult. Is the safety car staying out again one more lap? The safety car is out for one more lap. We might be able to catch up with the pack, but it's going to be a tough ask because we're not very quick around here, especially on the wrong tyre compound in the wet. Got 20 seconds to catch up with Lundgaard and 7 more seconds for Sainz, and then Sainz is miles behind the pack. So safety car is into the pits, as you can see. We're lap 21, so they did stay out for that extra lap. There is a lot of cars going into the pit. I'm not sure if they're going onto the mediums. As you can see, Sainz and Lundgaard have both gone onto the medium tyre. Giovinazzi is also pitting now. Green flag conditions. We're off running. But we've got half the grid in the pit lane. We've got half the grid on wets. It's dry. It's a dry track. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. We're on lap 22. We're setting green sectors. We haven't really caught up with anyone. Gasly's in the pit. I think that's Leclerc that's also in the pit. We should get out ahead of the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari driver. And as we set our best lap by 3 seconds, funny enough, so that's good. I think we hit Leclerc there as we came round Saint-Devote. We lost our back end and we did hit him, so I think Leclerc has lost his front wing. Unfortunately for him, we should probably get a penalty for that, but I don't think we do. We're now going on to lap 24. Same happened as the last lap. Leclerc came out of the pits then. Verstappen's come out of the pits. But he's just let us overtake him. I'm not 100% sure why Max did that. But he let us overtake him, and then he's going to stay behind us until he can get the move done.
Right now, just be careful.
As we set another green sector. I think we're doing not too bad to keep setting those green sectors. So as long as we can keep up our own pace, I'm not entirely fussed about the rest of the pack, to be completely honest. It's not easy, especially at Monaco in the wet. So now we've come onto the mediums. We're so far behind the group. We're not really going to be competitive. It's unfortunate, but not really much I can do. As you can see, on lap 26, Pierre Gasly has pulled off to the side of the road. Unfortunately, a safety car hasn't come out. We could have done with one there to try and squeeze that pack up together. I feel like that would have really been the turning point in this race. Lando Norris is still P1. Hamilton P2, Ricciardo P3, Stroll has moved up to P4, Matsushita to P5, Giovinazzi P6, Perez 7, Bottas 8, Mick Schumacher on for points in the Haas. I'm obviously P13, so it's all down to Giovinazzi to be getting points for us in this race for the team. It'll be interesting to see what we can do. Charles Leclerc has pitted for mediums 3 times. Not quite sure why he's done that. Lundgaard has pitted twice. Everyone else standard inter to medium compound of tyres. But let's just try and see what we can do from 13th. Try and go up the order of the grid if we can. It's going to be a tough stretch, but we'll do our best to try and do what we can. We're on lap 34 now, and we're being lapped. Lando has already gone through. I've got to let Hamilton go through here. What that does mean is we will be saving a lap of fuel, but I don't really think fuel matters, to be honest. It's not really coming into mind. As Leclerc is in the pit once again. I'm not sure why the Monaco guy is pitting so many times. Maybe his family are in the crowd at the pit and he just wants to keep going back to see them. We've now got Danny Ricciardo trying to get past us under blue flag conditions, so we're just going to pull to the right hand side, let him through, and then we're going to carry on our race. We're not going to catch Lundgaard now. He's 40 seconds ahead up the road. Verstappen's 15 seconds behind us, so it looks like we will be finishing this race in P13. It's not the worst finish considering how hard this race has been. The wet around Monaco just doesn't go. I think in future seasons I might just simulate the race because it has been so hard. As we come around the final corner, Lando Norris has won the race and we're going to finish P13.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
They've done it then. They've won here in Monaco with an emphatic performance and a victory they can be proud of for years to come. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Taking care of the car was absolutely vital today. It's been obvious all weekend that the pace was there, but look at the attrition rate we've had. They would have been very concerned about any minor anomaly towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight. So let's review the updated driver standings. It's a good result for Lando Norris, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
It's time to check out the Constructors Standings. McLaren continue to increase their gap at the top. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.